Hello and welcome to the Praying Wife podcast. I am your host, Corinne Cash, and on this episode, we are continuing our discussion with the Ramos family on marriage talk. Let's get right into it. You are going to answer. I'm going to ask work-life balance.
Oh, this is easy for me.
Yeah. How can we balance our work and personal lives to ensure we have quality time together?
Actually, this is not easy for me. I don't think. Maybe can I pass?
No,
can I
you
call a
can't
friend?
pass. No. How do we balance our work and personal lives?
For us, and like all these questions is just gonna be, I guess, our own personal experience.
Right.
For us, it's different, and it that buzzword we talked about earlier, that intentionality. Is definitely, it's definitely important, and definitely how we try to operate. The thing about it, when I work, I basically set my hours, so I don't.
Yes, more flexible.
Right, because she's like scheduled in meetings like all day. She'll be from 8:30 to like 5:36. She's booked. But me, I have a little more flexibility. I can start my day a little later if I need, but then I'll probably run later too. So, and I know she's expressed to me sometimes, hey, you're in your place. It's after hours, or at least after a certain hour. I want you to be in the bed with me or chilling out with me. And I'll be like, oh, okay, I have to try to adjust. But to have the work-life balance, you got to know what's balanced for you, or you got to know what your spouse considers balance. It's that communication again is very important, and actually, taking it seriously and taking it to heart and say, okay, well, if that's how it is, And sometimes she'll understand if I tell her, I have a serious project I got to get done. She'll understand, you go do what you got to do. And I mean, I think what we have works, but definitely it's got to be a.
Yeah, I think after COVID and a lot more people now work from home.
Yes.
Both of us too work from home. It made it a little bit more difficult because before, when you're to the office, you go to work and you come home.
Yeah, and
work is at work.
Definite boundary there.
And that's
right.
an easy balance. Like you get off the clock and that's it. Now it is kind of like an intentionality. I try to make sure that all of my work stuff is like confined to my work office.
It doesn't bleed into your home and family
so
life.
like I go in, I close the door, I'm in my mind at work.
Mm-hmm.
And when I knock off, I close the door, I'm at home. And it's trying to not pick up check my emails or do anything like that. Even though I'm sure, just in case my boss is watching, I still do check my text messages and stuff. You guys know, but
No, but
disclaimer. Disclaimer. But he knows, because I'll respond, right? But it's still trying to be intentional about not, going on my laptop and knowing that I left something on the Friday. I'm like, you know what? No, it's gonna be there on Monday morning. Let me leave it because I need to spend time with my family. Like you have to make sure that your work stays work, but you put the same or even more effort into developing and spending time with your spouse, spending time with your kids, because the kids, they grow up so fast.
Yes.
I remember bringing home Lyra from the hospital, and now she's about to be 14 years old. So it's you can't get that time back. Time is one thing you can't get back.
Yeah.
So being intentional.
Right, and then trips. We do the trips. We
love the
we
trips.
intentionally try to take a trip every
quarter. That's
just even if it's just a weekend.
Every quarter.
With the kids.
That's why we keep missing your birthday, because one of the quarters is always Labor Day.
Well, yeah. And my birthday is always around Labor Day.
Yeah, so we definitely.
Yeah, when you missed your 40th, that was pretty bad.
Yeah.
You just put us out there.
Well, you just said you missed her birthday, so
I already didn't feel extremely horrible.
Yeah, work and life balance is for me.
Sorry,
it's a tough one too. I can't say I don't do it, but for me, my in my profession, to give you background, I'm an architect, so we are pretty much short-staffed at the office now, and so sometimes I end up bringing my work home because I have deadlines I need to make. And what were you saying? What you saying?
She was agreeing with you.
She was, in total agreement with
you.
Yes.
So I tend to bring my work home. I don't want to, but with deadlines and things like that, and I'm working on about almost 18 projects right now, and it is driving me nuts. But I've made it a point to where there's at least on our Fridays, I designated, all right, Fridays is our family time.
Yeah.
Like on Fridays, I do not come home with work.
Yeah.
We'll either go out to dinner, we'll sit down, we'll make it a Netflix night, watch movies with the kids. Because I know throughout the week it's a little easier for me because my son, he comes home and he has a boatload of homework, so I can't really spend much time with him because he's in the middle of homework all night. My daughter, on the other hand, she's another story. She's more attached to her, so she'll come, mommy, I want mommy, I need you, mommy this, mommy that. So I was like, all right, well, I guess I can work. Yeah, that's her thing. I just need you. So I'm like, all right, well, she's attached to mommy, then okay, it's easier for me to work. I work. But we try to make it a point, at least that Friday, one day a week, to try to balance out like, hey, I'm done. I'm home on Friday. Let's order dinner, watch a movie, or go out, just to get out the house, just go out as a family and just spend family time. I mean, quality time, but it's a challenge, balancing that work, and you just got to know your boundaries as far as balancing your work and
Ditto.
Pretty much ditto. I mean, he nailed it. His description of our week is pretty spot on. The weeknights it is more me with the kids, maybe helping with the homework. He helps with the homework too, but our younger one for sure is mommy. So it's usually me getting them the dinner, the bath, bed, prayers, all that. And he might still be sitting at his computer even at those late hours. But on the weekends, at least, Friday for sure, we make a concerted effort. We're intentional about either going out, like you said, or making it, we bring something back home, popcorn, movie, whatever it takes, just to truly detach. So the balance is sometimes, the scales aren't always balanced with the work-life balance, to be honest. But it's always a work in progress.
Yeah, we try to do our best with, to spend time with the kids. Like you said, they grow up fast.
And with each other.
You're right, and with each other. I mean, our kids right now are 9 and 3. So my son, I can remember when he was born. It's like the same thing you said, and now he's 9. It's like, yeah, time does fly. So you want to try to absorb as much moments now with them, because at some point we're gonna be empty nesters. It's
and you don't want them to even look back and say, man, daddy was always working, or mommy was always working, or whatever the case may be. Like, you don't want them to
resent the fact that we were workaholics.
Man, we're they were there but they weren't there. So that I keep that sometimes in my mind to this job is not going to kill me, or like it's not going to run me into the ground. It's
like I tell them.
People always say the work is always there, and people say, you die or you leave this company, they're going to fill your spot like in the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, yours expendable.
You're expendable.
2-3 weeks. They will move on.
Yeah, the baby girl is definitely, our baby girl is definitely like that with me. Like, and like I find myself being conscious of it. Like, if I'm in there working, because she'll come about, daddy, I need this, daddy, I need that, whatever. She don't bother mom because mommy's in a meeting. She's learned that. That's so she'll come to me and sometimes be like, daddy, can you play with me? And I be like, she want me to play a game or do something. And I be like, all right, give me a minute. And then, daddy, and I say, okay, give me 5 minutes just so I can try to wrap up whatever or like kind of get to a solid place on what I'm doing. And she said, daddy, it's been 5 minutes. Daddy, has it been 5? No, she'll come and ask me, daddy, has it been 5 minutes? I say, it has. Okay, daddy, let's go. And then I even find like, because sometimes like I try to do the walks and I say like I take like walks every day, and I could make it just a moment for myself, like almost like a decompress, but then I started to include her in it, like because she got a bike and she wanted to try ride a bike, so I said, okay, this could be a thing, and it turned into a thing. Now if she was there, she would say, daddy, we haven't done that in a while because it's been either rainy or just hasn't happened. So
just a couple of weeks.
Yeah, but I mean that's something that's a moment I try to create with her, that I try to do almost a couple days a week, or if not every day. And even with the other kids, I try to bring them in. But they're in their own
older,
world.
they're in their own world, and they can take care of
But I still try to check in with them whenever I can.
And one thing we do, it's not really about a balance, but just when we talk about spending time with the kids, because I heard it on a radio show and then I thought it was genius, and we implemented it, where they're like, especially when you're in a house with different kids, different ages, like spend time with them separately.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like sometimes we forget that they're all individual people. So like we didn't do it this month.
No, because we
didn't do it last month because we traveled.
Away,
But every month we have we switch. So he takes Ben this week, I take Lyric the next week, and then next month I take Ben and he takes Lyric, and we like rotated. every month just to make sure that they all get that quality time
with just the one.
with
With
one
the
of us.
older ones, Bella, I don't think she misses it yet. Like,
Not yet,
Yeah.
but we'll add her to the rotation.
and then she's
eventually.
already trying to find, and you know how this is with your little one. She'll find her way into the mix somehow.
Yeah.
She's the tag along.
Yeah,
So.
I tend to do that actually with Josiah, my son.
Yeah.
On Easter, we took him for movies. You know, I take him to the movies. I tend to go bike riding with him, put him on his bike, and we'll just me and him just go for a bike ride. So I try to do that now with him. My daughter, you can go out with her and whatever, but it's like, I don't know if she's appreciative of it
She's a
at the
little young,
moment.
but she probably
Not
should.
She's
yet.
3.
Yeah.
But
But she doesn't understand this is why mommy and daddy are doing it. Like, like I would take her out for another little bike too. Just
But
me
you
and
create
her.
their routine and they'll
Right.
remember. They'll start
Right.
to remind you, hey daddy, aren't we supposed to do this today?
My
crazy,
daughter
Grandma.
Naraya would
They-
definitely
they
know.
routine,
She
they
does
thrive
not
on, They
forget.
thrive on
This
routine.
time of routine, yeah.
Yeah, she definitely does not forget.
But that's like when you tell her and she knows to expect it. If it's not established yet, then by default, both of the kids for a lot of things, especially again in those weeknights when he maybe is kind of seemingly chained to the computer, he'll pop up for dinner and then go back or whatever. The kids tend to come to me for a lot of things, even when perhaps daddy is free. So sometimes I have to tell them, you have 2 parents. Like you asked your father to come to me
you.
for something that he was actually closer and could have provided, So there are sometimes I have to remind them.
How can we divide household chores fairly between us? Wait, who's between us? Mean between the family or between us?
I guess either one.
Whatever works. I mean, because when the kids get old enough, buddy,
Well,
they
do you
they
guys
get
divide
choice.
chores up between you? Because the kids are kind of.
Or do you have like gender-defined chores? Like say,
No,
the
I mean,
man-
like-
the man takes out the garbage, the man mows the lawn.
Well,
The
he
That's
does
pretty
mow the-
much what he does anyways.
mow the lawn.
That's pretty much how it works out anyways.
Yeah.
He does mow the lawn for sure,
Um,
but he will take out the garbage most of the times. But if he's not there, like he wasn't a couple weekends ago, I'll take it out.
Right.
And I'll even wait for him to do it sometimes if it needs to be taken out. He doesn't clean bathrooms, but he told me that before we were married, and I'm like, I got you.
Hey, what works,
Hey,
13
what
years
works for
later,
you
now
works for you,
Communicated
man.
it.
Yeah.
He
Right.
communicated it. I
Right.
heard it. I still take care of the bathrooms in our house, and that's that. Everything else we divide up fairly equally. Whoever gets to it first.
Yeah, we do pretty much everything else. Like, we share everything. I do everything on the outside of the house. Pretty much like the grass, cutting the grass, the yard work, fixing up outside, fixing up the house, all the maintenance. We share the cooking, even though lately I cook a lot more than I
Yes,
want to.
That's true.
Oh man, I love cooking, man. That's my jam.
I love cooking too, don't get me wrong.
That's
But
like a little bit of a decompress for me too. Just getting there and
Me too.
killing chickens. Chopping.
Not having to do
Killing
it.
the already dead chicken. and just-
already dead prepackaged
I don't
chicken.
know, but I'm just saying. I
Get in there.
it's shifted after
you
Bella.
get the
came.
pounder.
Oh, I don't even bruise it yet. No, I need to buy a bruiser.
It shifted after Lyric, you mean?
No, I'm more after Bella.
Lyric, because you didn't know how to cook.
Well, there's a difference
No,
of
no.
2 kids there.
No,
so
I mean it
which one is
shifted as in
it?
I started cooking more because during our pregnancy with Bella, I think, I think it was, because I think during all the pregnancies, I
You had
had
to-
to figure out what I was gonna do.
Or else you just be.
By
eating
I think with
some
Lyric,
fried water.
I still wasn't really cooking anything, but by the time
At the
Bella
time,
arrived,
he
I
was
had
a
a
chef.
little staple of items. Like breakfast is always my thing.
Right.
Yes.
We can decide that,
I
right?
told
breakfast.
Eli that this morning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
breakfast was definitely my thing. She tried. I remember when we were first married.
We don't
she,
have to go into that.
Okay. we don't have to go into that. But anyway, yeah, no, I think definitely we do the same way where it's just who gets to it first,
Yeah.
and sometimes, it's definitely.
But we do
clear.
have a schedule for that as well.
We
now we
try to
have fallen.
schedule.
We have fallen behind on the schedule.
Well, that's because we have help though. 'Cause we
Yes,
have- we
because
have
bless
mommy
my
to
mom's
help.
heart. Mom's
Yeah,
mom's
mommy's
been a
saying
great
she's
help.
helping.
Mom's rock.
Mom's rock.
Saving our
But no,
day.
but we have like a because I have a schedule for everything.
Oh,
But,
our schedule is more for like. It was even more for
It's
like.
our schedules for everything.
Like who's washing dishes?
Who's
and what's
washing
right.
dishes?
Yeah.
Who's taking out the garbage?
Yeah.
Who's washing the clothes? Who is picking up the kids? Who's dropping them off?
Yeah, we
who
had
is
all that
bathing Bella? Who is cooking? Who's all of that?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
we have
the
it
whole
like.
shebang.
I mean, it's actually still should
It's
be on the
somewhere
wall.
there, right? Yeah.
But yeah, that worked. Like flawlessly. And it was important to put it together because I think I had realized, even with working a lot, that he was taking on a lot of stuff, like just unconsciously, just because I was just extremely tired or whatever, or some stuff maybe I was doing a lot more, but probably was the opposite way.
Yeah. I don't know.
And then I was like, I was really in prayer time, and God was like, your husband is resenting you at this point. Like, it was just a straight up, your husband is resented. And he didn't like show any signs when it was literally in prayer time. And then I was like, wait, why? And I was like, because you ain't doing nothing. And I was like, what do you mean? Anyway, I let him know, and I didn't even ask him. I said, God told me that you are resenting me, so let's come up with a schedule so we can fix it. And to this day, it's not confirmed nor denied.
I said nothing. I work in back. I see no
his
He
allegations.
says nothing, which means I know exactly that is true.
Yeah.
No, I
But
mean,
we came up with the schedule so, he wouldn't feel like it was a lot
All on him.
On him.
like I said before, though, like, and I understand how it works better if I'm doing certain stuff because I have a more flexible schedule. I mean, especially when it comes to like the kid pickups and because we haven't had a lot of situations where, especially Ben, he would like somehow in the middle of the day he get like headaches or he gets sick and
He wanna
stuff,
be
and
picked up.
he got to get picked up in the middle of the day. She can't do that because she got one meeting after, like I said, one meeting after the other. Or even when she was in office before COVID, I still was working from home. Like I never really transitioned into working fully in the office, even though we had an office, because COVID came and it kind of changed everything. But yeah, no, I mean we found a way to make it
Yeah,
work.
we did.
And sometimes I'll go there, I'll be like, hey, I know I'm scheduled to cook tonight, but
People like,
I have to
today's
do
my
this
day.
thing. I have to
Right.
get something done. Can you? And then
Yeah.
to everyone, you got to figure out what works.
Figure out
Yeah.
what works.
Yeah, it's like we do, like, like what you said, we whoever gets to it first kind of thing. But the schedule's actually a good idea
Yes.
to
Just to take the guesswork
Yeah,
out of it.
guesswork.
Yeah.
It's the same
because
way I tell
sometimes
you
it
with
was
the
like,
food.
oh, whose turn is it to wash dishes
Right.
again?
The dishwasher.
Right.
But I just be looking at
Oh,
the
no,
schedule like,
straight up.
oh, it's juice, it's you, buddy.
She'll come to me sometimes and be like, oh, thank you for washing this. I say, I didn't wash the dishwasher. I say, all I did was clear it out.
Right.
I tell her, like, if you could find like 5 minutes and clear it out earlier.
Right.
Because I'll do like a little pre-wash for certain things and I'll
Right.
throw them in there as
That's my
quickly
thing.
as
With
possible.
the dishwasher, I'm still washing it beforehand. Like, I just...
You have to do a
that's
little
me
bit
too.
something.
See,
Yeah, I
I
feel like-
I grew up. I never had a dishwasher.
Me
I
neither.
grew up
Okay.
washing
But
dishes
We had the
myself.
spot. We had the spot in my kitchen. We had the spot for the dishwasher. They never bought it, so it turned into like a rack where we put like potatoes and onions and stuff. Like they push the rack, and it's like, "Where's the dishwasher, guys?" It was literally there the whole time next to the sink. There's a little slot, and I always ask, I say, "Why do we have a slot?" Because we have the garbage can out, and then we have the little like three-tier rack with stuff in it. I say, "Why?" And then my sister told me, "That was for dishwasher." I say, "But we never got the dishwasher. They still to this day we don't have the dishwasher."
It hurt his heart. Listen.
It's just
Because that's
trauma.
That's what I do too. Like if I'm gonna use a dishwasher, I'll pre-rinse it, and then I'll throw it in the
Right.
dishwasher.
And by that time...
By that time, I'll just
already
have washed the
clean.
whole thing.
Yeah.
No, what I do, I just throw it in there. I say, "Listen, you can show me what you made of today." All I do, like, I just say, like, if it's something what I
God.
know I left, like, say I cooked something in a pan, the residue, and
That-
if I know I left it, I'm gonna probably put water and let it soak.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna put it in the dishwasher. 'Cause
Yeah.
you would put in some hot water, a couple of 10 minutes, that'll be ready to scrub out easily. But everything else, I say, dishwasher, you're gonna have to prove your love to me tonight. Make it happen.
I always feel they can't prove it. So I just wash and then put it in there and then turn on the dishwasher.
But back to this subject, we don't have like we don't do
Household
the
chores.
yeah. I mean, what we talking about just washing right now, but we don't have any like no gender things. I mean, I'll probably do more of the like you said, the handyman type of stuff. I'm gonna do that. But she's where I lack the motivation. She definitely has that. So if I have to be her hands and feet, she's definitely the get up and go, the unction to do it.
The cheerleader saying, "Yes, you can."
Yeah, we don't have any gender thing either. Like,
Yeah, no,
I never said, oh, you're the woman, you're gonna wash dishes or you're gonna sweep or whatever. No, I mean, I sweep, even though now I bought an iRobot, so that sweeps for me. Well, I set mine usually when we go to church We leave. Nobody's home. Well,
Makes sense.
Because
put
the
the chairs
kids
up and I
oddly
have
are
it.
afraid of it.
Oh yeah,
Both.
the kids
The
are
9
both
and
the
the
kids are
3-year-old.
afraid
That's
of
why
it.
we named ours. Our kids love it. Like Bella thinks he's like a part of the family.
Kevin
We
gets
just
stuck on
haven't
the
used-
carpet though.
Yeah, Kevin gets stuck on.
Oh,
the
really?
He gets
Not
jammed
ours.
up on this.
Not
He
ours.
chokes.
He chokes on this. It's
Mine.
Well, ours isn't technically
Ours is
that
like a
iRobot brand.
J
It's like,
robot.
It's like off brand.
It's a
He's more like
J-robot.
iRobot or whatever.
J robot.
Yeah, he's one of the other
Sorry,
letters.
Kevin. Yeah, no, I mean, I think even with all of these stuff that we talked about, it's important for you to find what works for you.
Yeah,
Like,
Yes.
exactly.
talk to your
To each
spouse
his own.
about it. Yeah, to each his own. But make sure you communicate about it. Like, don't have expectations or assumptions, or get upset because something isn't being met, or like you expected your spouse to have boundaries, or expected that they knew what is this to have a work-life balance. Like, communicate.
Also, don't
Oh.
look at that couple over there, that family over there, and be like, in comparison, it's the killer.
True.
Oh.
It's the dream killer. I mean,
True.
and like and then you may even have like your for ladies, their girlfriends or whatever talking. Oh well, this is what my man does. Or this, no, that's what works for them. Works for them. What's for you is for you. And
Yeah, every
you gotta
marriage is
figure that out.
different.
You gotta
Every
figure it
couple is
out.
different.
Every
Everybody has their own
household.
different ideals. Everybody
We
has
have
their own
different children.
characteristics.
Everything is different.
It's whatever works for you. You got to find what works for you. You got to find what balance works for you. I mean, marriage is a full-time job. Marriage
That's
is
what I told my friend the other day. Like,
a full-time
because he's saying like he reached. I think he's like at like 8 years now. All right, whatnot. And then he's saying he asked me, say, how y'all do it? I say it's work, buddy. I say first of all, think of the reward as your paycheck. You wanna get paid, but if you ain't doing the work, you ain't gonna get the paycheck. So the same with your marriage, you got to put in the work to get the reward.
Yep.
It,
Well, it depends on what
it's
we're
just
talking about.
principle.
Yeah.
Yes, and that is all the time we have for today's session. I want to thank everyone so much for joining us, and I hope that you guys were blessed by this episode of The Praying Wife. And if you have any questions, feel free to send us an email at pray@theprayingwife.com or support@theprayingwife.com. We look forward to hearing from you.